More to a home than its square footage and how much it last sold for. Now an ambitious project is adding a story to the search for a new home by allowing everyone to explore its history.
A desire for preserving land, buildings, and home history.
I have always had a passion for real estate.
Along with a visit to Amanda Zelke's mother-in-law.
And we were going through old photos of her old home, and she was just glowing, telling all these stories.
Were the driving forces that led the Edina native and her husband David Decker to create House Novel, a user-generated website that combines home photos, stories, and information on an interactive timeline.
Well, we just felt there were so many untold stories and old photos collecting dust in people's storage or basements, and we just wanted a way to be able to preserve that.
So far, there are over 17,000 records from across the country, with about 10,000 of those local to Minnesota, including the former Four Paws restaurant in St. Paul, which has had multiple people contribute to the timeline.
There was even news clippings found about this home from the late 1800s.
Originally, it was a private residence. Then it turned into apartments and finally became a restaurant.
It's really a powerful testament to show how homes serve so much more than just a building structure. It has so many memories, and it's a community builder all in itself.
Or there's the quirky story of Dorothy Moulter, who had the last private residence in the Boundary Waters and was affectionately known as the Root Beer Lady.
She started making her own root beer herself, and then anyone passing by in the Boundary Waters, just canoeing on by, she would give out her root beer to them.
Her cabins are still preserved today at the Dorothy Moulter Ely Museum, and her root beer can still be bought in the northern region. Bet you would have never thought that if you stayed at her place. Then there are stories that tug at the heart, like a photo of a man and a woman in front of a house that has long since been torn down. Turns out the house was built by that very man. Now his son is grateful his father's handiwork can be seen by anyone who ever lived there and who may live in the new home right now on that very piece of property.
I think the biggest thing is people really want to share the stories throughout the course of their life.
Amanda feels those photos and stories are the best way to capture the moments that make a house a home.
So this is such a fascinating site. So you can check it out at housenovel.com to see if your address has any photos uploaded. And if it doesn't, you're encouraged to upload your own and start that timeline.
I got to start doing some research on my own house, you guys. So I got nosy neighbors, so they tell me everything. They tell me everything.
That should help. Maybe they got some old photos of it.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
All right, Guy.